Okay, most of us would have a dream car. It would be the perfect car. It would be really fast. It would be very stylish and very sleek, meaning that it would be smooth. But is there such a car that could achieve that goal? And is there a company that could make that car? Well, there is. This is the Lamborghini. It was a company that's known for making fast, stylish, sleek, and yet very expensive cars. And I'm just going to go quickly through the history and then through some of their more popular models that they made. It all started with Fabrizio Lamborghini, who started his company out getting all his rich fame and fortune during World War I, making these. He got famous for these, surprisingly, and he wanted more with his life, though, that he wanted to make stylish luxury cars that people would want to buy. So in 1963, he founded the Lamborghini Company. This was his first model, the 350 GTV. It didn't receive that much praise because, well, it was a company that was starting out and nobody really knew or cared for the company back then. So he thought that if he gets better designers to make better cars, people would start paying attention. So one of his top designers, who I don't remember his first name, but the last name was surprisingly Gandhi, or something like that, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, showed him the design for a car that he said was relentless and muscular. So, born was the Miura. It was their popular car. It was their most stylish and their most expensive at the time, probably about, since it was in the 60s, 55,000 maybe, if that was a good price range. So, he made that, and a few more cars came along, like, there was another one called the Jada and something like that. This one in particular was their first best-selling, which was called the Espada, which was Italian for bats. I don't know how it got that name. It wasn't really fast, it was more of just a family sedan. And they basically made 5 models, the Miura, the Espada, another model called the Jada, and then there were 2 other, I think. This was their first. This became more popular than their Espada, because whenever they brought it to auto shows, they would bring the main cars that they made. But this one they had like sitting off in a corner, that it was still in its testing phase. Everyone liked it, so they thought, okay, people like it, let's move ahead with it. When they started designing it, they came up with the name LP200 as its code, so that people couldn't leak any information to other rival car companies at the time. In 1971, this came out, known as the Countach. It became their most popular car, and it was their fastest. It's one of my favorites personally, too. This was a disaster. This is called the LM002. It was their first attempt at an off-roading vehicle. They were thinking about giving it to the military, selling their design, but they didn't like it, so they gave it the name the Rambo Lambo. This came out in 1999. It was called the Diablo SV. In the 90s, this was the fastest car of the time. It would later on get kicked out of that spot by a British company called McLaren with their F1. Once again, as time passed, so the cars changed. They kept on getting faster and faster due to new technology that would be coming out in that time. Like this. Most people know what this is. This is the Murcielago, one of their more famous models, basically because in 2005 it could hit speeds of 240 miles per hour. That was freakishly fast, but it still did not compete to the fastest car at the time, which was a Koenigsegg, which is Swedish. The current car that they make right now for 2012 or 13 is this, the Aventador. They have different concepts of it because they have a brand and then sometimes make branch offs that they would give it like a different name. So they have another version of it which is slightly more expensive called the Aventador J, which is what I have on my poster over there. It's the red one. They have but also they kind of, as people described, went loopy at the end. They created something called the Venom, which is up to at least $4 million. The thing looks like it's mangled up metal, like twisted and shaped to make it all aerodynamic. If you know about the movie or the show Speed Racer, it looks like the Mach 5 because it has the pieces sticking out on the sides and in the front. They also have another model that they made, which people have described, okay, that's it, Lamborghini must be doing something, they officially gone insane, which is called the Egoist. It's a very small car that's a one-seater, so can't really fit a family in it, and it's even more of a batch of tangled and messed up pieces that are apparently supposed to make it aerodynamic. I don't know if it is or if it's more of a paperweight. And that's basically just a crash course on the Italian motor company that started off from making derpy little tractors to making $1 million sports cars. Thank you.